Hey everyone, I am your astrologer Brittany with Horoscope.com. Here are 3 things you need to know in order to make today, Saturday, January 5th, 2019 a success. I want to say happy solar eclipse in Capricorn, which is occurring today, which I'm about to get into. Eclipses are huge. To me, they're super powered new moons, and they do set the tone for at least the next 6 months of our lives, although I do believe this one's going to last way longer than that, being in Capricorn, a cardinal sign ruled by Saturn. I think this new beginning that we're coming into today can last us possibly for 30 years to come and can tear down some of the work that we've done for the past 30 years prior to this. Now, to dive in, to explain exactly how this is going to happen, I'm going to start with the moon. The first thing I always like to talk about is the moon. The moon is here in Capricorn, where this solar eclipse will be taking place later tonight. Moon in Capricorn means this solar eclipse is going to be all about a lot of times work in Capricorn, putting in hard work. It's going to be a lot about your career as well, your reputation and your life direction. Maybe putting your life in some new or different direction that maybe you've been working out for quite some time, and this is going to be the beginning of you really launching forward into that, even if it's going to take a lot of hard work and discipline in order to get there. The reason why I think hard work and discipline will be necessary is because the moon doesn't really care for Capricorn that much, because it makes it a little bit hard to feel emotionally warm and comfortable in that sign. So this new beginning that will last us for at least especially 6 months, maybe even longer, may require us to put some of our emotions behind us so that we can do the work we need to do to set ourselves up the best for success and put our life in some better place. Now, what is happening right before lunchtime today is we've got this moon in Capricorn on top of Saturn right here in this chart. Saturn is the natural ruler of Capricorn, which means they have energies that are similar. So what we can feel around 11 a.m., well, depending where you are, it's going to be around lunchtime. What we could be feeling are feelings again of restriction, of lots of responsibility, of a lot of work that we have to do to put our life in some better place that could come up then. That's going to last with us until about dinner time. Around dinner time, this moon in Capricorn is going to make a sextile over here to Neptune in Pisces, and I actually really like this. Even if we're feeling emotionally restricted, even if we feel like we got to take on a lot of work, even if we're feeling like we got some big change looming over our shoulders in our life direction with a lot of responsibility, I think taking on the responsibility, doing the hard work with this sextile to Neptune is actually going to put us at peace. It's going to make us feel good by feeling bad, maybe because we're doing what we need to do. Even if it's uncomfortable, we're going to start to feel like we're moving forward, overcoming the past, making progress, and creating other situations for us that are ultimately going to be better for our soul and for our spirit. So I do believe that's what's happening there. It's very, very positive alignment. This solar eclipse giving us a huge opportunity to make big strides forward to create a life that we actually feel much better and more authentic in. After that happens, now I'm going to go towards after dinner time. The moon's going to move further through Capricorn and come into a conjunction with the sun right there, and that is what is officially going to make this a new moon. And of course it's an eclipse because it's very close to this nodal axis right here. And that's when the new beginning is going to occur, when we're going to start to finally feel like, you know what, either we're doing this new thing, putting our life in this new direction, taking on the hard work, or we're not. Are we or what? And I think once we get to after dinner time, it's time to finally own up to the work that you need to do so that you can feel much better about your life and to step into even some big change. I'll talk a little bit more about that tomorrow. Some big change in your career, your life direction, and your reputation that you've been working on. Okay, so that's the first thing that I want to mention. Take on the work. Make decisions too in Capricorn about where you want your life to go so that you can start to feel better as time moves on. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is going to be very close to where all this is going on, just because there's a lot of planets bunched together, and it's going to be right here, if you can see it, where Mercury is. Mercury just moved into the very beginning degrees of Capricorn. Mercury rules the way that we think. It rules the way that we talk as well. Mercury in Capricorn thinks seriously, talks seriously, is all about business, wants results as well. So there could be a lot of conversations that you could be having about your career, about your life direction, and about how you can strategize, plan, and work towards these things, about the results that you want, about how you can get the results that you need, kind of putting all the pieces together. This is not a super emotional alignment to talk about feelings, to talk about the past. This is the time to talk about the life that you want to create and how exactly you can get there, even if you have to have some hard conversations, make some cuts, or make some decisions in the meantime. The one thing I do want to caution you about with this alignment is that Mercury, as it's moving into Capricorn, is going to make a square over here to Mars and Aries. So that may incite you to act before you think fully, or you may have very aggressive thoughts, very aggressive conversations. Your mind could be very active, tons of thoughts coming up. If not tons of thoughts, there could be arguments or very heavy conversations that could be a little aggressive here. Your mind, could just be running. And I think what you need to make sure here is to pace yourself, to calm your mind, to calm your thoughts, so that you don't do things before you're ready, so that you don't do things without a proper strategy in place, and so that you don't upset other people, and so that you don't upset yourself and get lost in all of your ideas. So think seriously about your life and make sure that you do that, and don't let your mind get the best of you as you try your best to plan and move forward strategically. Now, the third and last thing I'll mention is going to be right here where Venus is. Venus is in Scorpio, and it's making a trine over to Chiron today after just coming off of a trine to the North Node in the previous few days. To be honest, I actually like this. Even though Venus is in Scorpio, which isn't a good sign, and it's making a trine to Chiron, but I think this trine to the North Node that Venus is making is putting a really pretty bow on it. This is about relationships and about money. Our relationships and our money have been going through quite the transformation the past few months, especially since October. It's been changing how we make money, how we spend money. Could feel a little bit uncomfortable, definitely the past few months. And I think it's time that we're finally getting a handle on all this change, all this stuff that's been up and down with our money, with the people in our life. We're figuring out who's with us, who's not, what we need, especially with the solar eclipse in Capricorn. We're not playing around anymore. We're making the hard decisions. We're being okay with any of the losses that we've had to take the past few years, any uncomfortable things that have happened to us, and we're starting to move on. We're starting to move on with our relationships, with money, feeling better. And Venus too, very soon, is going to move into Sagittarius as well, helping us to feel much lighter, much happier, much more optimistic, maybe pursuing other relationships or other financial sources to replace some of the things that went badly the past few months. So I think things are starting to look up. We're starting to realize life may not have been what we thought we wanted it to be, but it's going in some new direction. We got to get okay with it. We got to do the things that we need to cut our losses, to pick up the pieces, to move on. And I think because of that, we're starting to see things improve. We're starting to feel more at peace, and our relationships and money are going to start to get more in order so that we can eventually feel better and feel more grounded in life over time as we do the work that we need to do. Okay, so that is your daily planetary forecast for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you tomorrow.